Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about two eBay customer issues, a little bit on the economy, and what's old, of course. We'll look at some cool what's old. So please like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the talking points as well as the what's old, and subscribe. Did I already say that? Okay, let's get into it. The first issue is about customers not getting their items in the mail. Now, this one's not a part of the issue, but I did have one where someone said, "Hey, I didn't get the item in the mail. It was just a plush." Pretty straightforward. It was. It's about 3 weeks since I've sent it out. It's been sitting stuck somewhere in Georgia for about a week and a half. The items usually go pretty quickly. Like items from California to Florida get there surprisingly fast, 4 to 5 days the most, unless there's issues. And so this has been sitting in Georgia for some time. They sent me a message saying they didn't get it. So what do? I go into USPS. I open up a lost package, and nothing moved, nothing happened. So yesterday was the last day when it was the deadline when I had to take action. Never let eBay take action on these issues. It can be a ding on your account. If you're top rated, it could bump you down. If you get too many of these, you will get penalized. So take action. Don't let eBay step in and take action for you. So yesterday was the last day. I just refunded their money. No big deal. It wasn't that big. Part of doing business. But now on to the issue, or the first of two. So the first one is a item not received, and this one is actually ordered back on July 19th. I was like, at first when he sent me the message, I'm like, what is the person talking about, right? I had no recollection because I'm sending out so many items, and it's already been about 3.5 months or so since that one went out. So I had to get. First of all, I was on my phone, and I had to get back home, check my computer because I couldn't go that far back on my phone. So I finally did that. I checked the tracking. Sure enough, it was not delivered. I'm like, okay, but I was like, wait a second. This has been quite some time since this was ordered and this was sent out. There's a generally a 30-day window, money back guarantee. And so they have to take action. If they didn't get it, they have to take action. It's not infinite. So they have to take action in order to be guaranteed that money back. I mean, I could have just, and typically I would give them their money. I would just send them a refund. They didn't get it. I would send them a refund. However, they sent me a message also. They sent me another message stating that they had opened up a request, of lost mail with USPS. Now, when you open up a lost mail package with USPS, that lost package will appear in the tracking. So it'll say, lost package case open. I've done it many, many times. I just did it recently, and it will pop up in the tracking. This one did not show that in the tracking. So I'm like, okay, that sounds funny. I mean, if he had not said that, I'm assuming it's he. If they had not said that, I would have just given their money back. I'm like, all right, whatever. Just give them their money back. They didn't get it. No problem at all. But the fact that they stated that was a little fishy to me. And I definitely, I called eBay first just to make sure I'm good. And they said, yes, you are completely covered here. And I reached out to a reseller group I'm a part of, and they said, it sounded kind of funny as well too, and they may have just been, going through their purchases, noticed that this was not delivered, and thought they can get their money back, no questions asked. And I was thinking the same thing. They probably got the item and then just saw that it was, not delivered, so they can probably get their money back. Maybe they're not aware that there is a window of when they could do this. Maybe they thought it was infinite. Who knows? But that should close in about 2 more days. It takes about it's about 2 more days, and then that should close. Hopefully in my favor. It's not, even though I know I'm good. eBay told me I'm good. You don't really know until it's completely closed and said and done. Till the book is shut, and that's it. Okay, the other issue is a return. So this person ordered a lighter, and I sold it as vintage lighter, and I said, it doesn't spark. I don't know what's wrong with it. It doesn't spark. And so I sold it, and the person said they tried to repair it, and it doesn't spark. They want to return it. I'm like, all right, no big deal. Just, I have free returns. Just send it back. Kind of annoying, but just send it back. No big deal. I'll sell it again. So they waited about a week and a half, and then I get a message from them saying, hey, sorry, been delayed. I'll send it back, right away. So I said, okay, no problem. No big deal. Again, don't hear from them again. Nothing. Then a few days later, I get a message saying, have you got the item yet? And I said, no, I have not received the item, and I don't see that you've opened a return request. So I don't know, there's no tracking, no nothing. eBay's not telling me it's coming, nothing like that. So they said, oh, yeah, I sent it via UPS. I was like, and so now I've got the, the alarms kind of going off. Now I'm thinking, things are sounding a little fishy now. This person was not a brand new person to eBay. They had over 1,000 feedback, or at least a rating of over 1,000 on eBay. So they seem to know, they should know what to do. So, but things are sounding fishy now. I'm like, wait a second, why did you go through UPS and not the normal channels? You would open up a request with eBay, and they would give you a label to slap on it and send it on its way, and it's tracked. So I said, I haven't received it yet. And the next day, they ended up opening a return, that they're returning the item with eBay. However, it sounds like they don't have the item, or I don't know. I'm still, I'm not sure. I'm still expecting this item to show up. I think, I don't know. But they've been sending me messages saying, hey, have you got this item? And I said, no, I didn't get it. Do you have a tracking number? I've asked for the tracking number twice, and they have not sent it to me. But they did tell me the last time that it was supposed to arrive this past Monday. That was what UPS told them. The latest it would arrive by this past Monday. And I'm like, okay, well, that Monday has come and gone. Still not here. So I don't know what's going on with this. But the return request, if they do not send it back via the return request, then it will close on its own in my favor because they never sent it back. But that one will take a little while. It'll take I think it's about 3 weeks or so is how long they get to send it back. And then it'll get closed. If they leave any negative feedback, any feedback will be removed as well too. So we'll see. I'll have to give you an update on that one. That's kind of annoying. A couple of issues. These issues do come up. Not maybe these specific ones. Something's shifting around over here. I don't know what it is. Kind of freaked me out a little bit, but who knows? What do you call it? Where was I at after things were shifting? Yeah, these issues come up. I can tell you, I haven't heard of these issues. I mean, I have had people return items not through the usual channels before. And again, I'll get it and I'll just, I'll refund them their money. No big deal. But as far as, I don't know, this guy's like bugging and it's not showing up. It's been a while now. It's kind of odd. I don't know. Did they really even send it? Did it get lost? And if it did get lost and I don't get it, then I can't refund them their money. I don't know if they technically sent it or not. I don't know if I'm getting scammed or not. Who knows? But, yeah, a couple of issues. Let me know in the comments down below if these have happened to you and what you've done to deal with it. Okay, economy news. You may have seen, people have been talking about it. And the reason why I bring it up is because my social media has kind of been flooded with, oh man, look at this stock's going up. This stock making all kinds of money on this stock. I mean, this stock's going up. Bitcoin is, to the moon. I'm like, oh, geez. Like, here we go with the Bitcoin and everything again. What occurred was a knee-jerk reaction to the election, and everybody that is involved with stocks and or Bitcoin is seeing the election of Donald Trump as good for business, good for the economy. And technically, yes, I definitely think he's a better choice as far as businesses go. However, there were during his last presidency, there were additional fees, what they call, I would say tarps, but I heard it pronounced a different way. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Tariffs is what they said. That's how they pronounced it. On items that I typically buy, a lot of computer components and everything, and those tend to come from China, and those were placed, those additional fees and everything, taxes, whatever you want to call it, were placed on those items. And so I saw an increase in cost, which was kind of annoying. And I definitely think that those increases will come to a lot more items. Probably not necessities, but things that we have come to enjoy and become accustomed to, like battery packs, speakers. Those things I think will definitely become more expensive. And I think the overall goal is to help encourage more manufacturing, more made in America, which I definitely think is a great idea. But there may be some short-term pain as far as higher cost on a lot of these items. Like I said, we've come accustomed to coming out of China. There may be higher costs there, so you may see more of impact on small business, more impact on the consumer when it comes to these types of items and items coming from overseas and their increased cost. Obviously, no one wants to increase cost. No one wants to pay more for some of these items, but I do think that is coming. That is something that I definitely can occur. Not immediately, but can occur rather quickly. Getting more jobs within the U.S., getting manufacturing up in the U.S., getting that made in the USA up and going. That will take a lot of time. That will take, probably beyond the 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency. Definitely will need to lay the groundwork, get everything going. I've talked about this before. Get everything going, get the groundwork going, get whatever laws passed that need to be passed to make this happen. Talk to business leaders, meeting with business leaders, trying to get this stuff off the ground. And that will be years and years in the making, but definitely the groundwork can be laid. However, tarps, or how do you pronounce it? I can't even remember how to pronounce. I can't even say it, just naturally. Tariffs. Tariffs can be, we saw how quickly that went into action, especially if you're involved in, computer components, graphics cards, power supplies. Surprisingly, power supplies went up. They went up, an incredible amount. And it's not really something that people were necessarily talking about, just because it's not the the flashiest piece in your old computer at all, but it's critical. It's very critical to the operation of your computer, but it's not good. It's usually a black box. It just sits there in your computer. It's not sexy. It's not anything like that. But the cost on that went up incredibly, and they were reselling actually for a great amount of money. If you can find them for a good price, that is secondhand usually. But there could be some short-term pain coming. Don't let the the rise in the stock market fool you. I have been preaching that the economy is great, the economy is humming along, and it definitely is. It definitely is moving along, humming along. But you still got to be paying attention to the warning signs. You gotta keep your ear to the ground. You want to try to if you are, running a business, try to slim down, try to cut costs any way possible. I know it's tough. It's tough. Everything's going up. Shipping supplies go up. The postage. Don't get me wrong. Don't even be talking about USPS and the costs. Definitely, I don't necessarily pay that. Well, technically, I do pay that, but the buyer pays me. I charge for shipping, so they pay me the shipping, and then I go buy the label, and I can see how much it's costing. Definitely not as high as what it costs retail. Don't try going into the post office and paying a retail, try to ship a box, just a standard little, 6x6 box. Go in the post office, try to ship that out, and you'll see what they charge you. It's wild. So costs are going up everywhere. just be prepared. Be prepared for potential a rise in price. Definitely won't be because of inflation. I definitely think the economy can handle it. There are definitely warning signs as far as recession or downturn in the economy, but if you really look for signs of down, signs of up, you'll be able to find them. You'll be able to find data to support your claims that the economy is horrible, people are doing bad, but you'll be able to find the opposite as well too, that things are great, the economy's doing great. So these are just my feelings, what I feel and what I saw, in Donald Trump's initial run as president, and potentially continuing, that's what he did, what he did in the beginning, obviously trying to encourage job growth in the U.S., which, I definitely agree with it. I think that we should bring manufacturing back over here. We saw what happened during the pandemic, what happened when, there's a bottleneck somewhere in manufacturing. Obviously manufacturing overseas, and you got to get it over here. Then there's problems, getting items over here. If we can just make it all internal, make it within our own borders, we kind of have a little bit more control of our destiny. And there's pros and cons to everything. There's pros and cons to that, pros and cons to not doing that. It is what it is. But I definitely think I take advantage of, like I've said, I take advantage of Made in the USA, and I think it would definitely be great for the country, and hopefully we'll see how things go. I don't. I neither like nor dislike him. I am neutral on most things. I try to be neutral. One thing that people have always mentioned about me, at my old job at the hospital, they go, "How do you remain so, just calm, just down the middle of the road, just nonchalant about things? You don't get frazzled, or you don't get worked up about anything." I go, it's just, in reality, there are people that have worse problems than we do, than I do, than other people do. And those people, and some of those people, they like, working in a hospital, you see people. I mean, there was one guy, I remember this one guy, he got into a motorcycle accident, and literally he was in and out of surgery for almost 4 years. 4 years. And I would talk to him I would see him there, and stop and chit chat. Got to know him, and he was always like just upbeat. He was always just like nothing really. I mean, surprisingly, the world just like his whole world basically came crashing down, and he was out of work for all that whole time. I mean, luckily he was he was able to take care of himself, and but I mean, just going through the pain, and broke multiple bones in his body, multiple infections, and he still had a great attitude about life. I'm like, wow, dang, if you can go through all that and still have a great attitude, wow. And then then there's those people who like they get like a hangnail, and they're letting the whole world feel what happened to them. I'm like, jeez. So there are worse things that can happen in life, and that's the way I kind of look at things. I look at things like I'm good. I'm good. But let's get into the what's sold. Let's get into the what's sold. I'm trying to help everybody too. Trying to help everybody. Make a little bit of money out there. Make a little bit of extra money. Try to do it full time if you can. If you can't, there are definitely there's some people who can make it full time. Some people who need to can do it part time, and it's tough. There's no easy money out there. So okay, let's get into the what souls. I didn't even set this up yet, so let me set this up. Let me open this first one here, and then I'll have to just kind of rearrange the picture really quick on live for you guys. I think that should be good. All right, let's try that. There we go. All right. dude, talk about tough times, but the Chernobyl liquidator metal. So this was given out to those that helped in the cleanup post nuclear disaster. One of the, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the worst. If you saw the documentary, I think it was on HBO. Definitely watch it. I didn't realize. I think I was young. I was really, really young when this happened, so I never really, I don't even really recall this even happening when I was younger. Obviously, in my older days, I learned about it and everything. But one thing I did not realize was how close they were to nearly a catastrophic event beyond what occurred. What do you call it? The nuclear material was getting close to the underground water, where the underground water was being stored, and if it hit that, oh man, that would have been worse, by far worse. And the people that went in there and took care of this issue, that went in there and risked their lives and lost their lives, for the greater good. It's an amazing story, and obviously, wish that would have never happened. But the heroes that came out of this, amazing. And these were medals that were given out to people that assisted in the cleanup. But what did this go for? I found this at Savers, and definitely check this was on the jewelry wall. Definitely check out that jewelry wall. You never know what you're going to find there. I'm not even set up. I wasn't even set up to look these items up right now. Okay. Here we go. Come on. Okay, there we go. Metal. $22.37 is what this sold for. So definitely something really cool item. Definitely something to look out for. And really got me Chernobyl liquidator. I mean, it sold itself. I really, really didn't need to use too many keywords in this. It was just a cool, unique item. Piece of history, piece of world history here. The Chernobyl liquidator metal, Ukraine. It happened to Ukraine during the Russian Soviet, when USSR was around. So really cool. Sold it, $22. Small, tiny. Went inside a small little bubble poly mailer. I did wrap it in some extra bubble wrap just to keep it safe, and it went for this was $5.56. $5.56 is what they paid for the shipping. This obviously it cost less than that because this was right around 1 ounce. So really cool item. Definitely keep your eye out for these things. Next. See if I go in this direction. There we go. Yeah. Now this was really, really cool. It's a kitchen timer. It's the Death Star in kitchen timer form. Really cool. I don't have to tell you Star Wars sells, but this is just something unique. I didn't know this existed. They make everything Star Wars, and they turn everything into a Star Wars device. And of course, a kitchen timer. Not only that, but when the timer goes off, it makes the laser sounds, which is kind of cool. And what did this sell for? $15.30. And it was $8.29 what they paid in shipping. So it was close to £2. I think it went close, not too far. But it does have a little bit of weight to it. Now you would think automatically Star Wars is going to go for a crazy amount of money. But no. Star Wars doesn't go for that. People think Star Wars, you even have the old figures, you think there are some of them that go for quite a bit. But the majority of them, they don't really go for that much, especially loose. If they're new in the package, totally different story. But not all Star Wars sells necessarily for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But they do sell, and they are pretty popular, and they will get a lot of activity, a lot of watchers, a lot of lookers. And this kitchen timer, as long as you just buy it low, try to buy as low as possible. If anything's loose, buy as low as possible. And this Death Star thing was pretty cool. I liked it. Thought about keeping it, but then again, I don't really use kitchen timers. I have an Alexa. So, oops. Hopefully I didn't activate it. And that does my timer for me. So really cool item. I did put this in the box, 6x6x6 box. So really cool. It does work, and it makes the laser sounds, and it does light up too. Cool item. Okay. Now another item that is really cool to look out for is microset recorders. First of all, and then there's a couple of brands you really want to look out for. Like Sony is probably the top one you want to keep your eye out for. Then after that would be like Olympus, and maybe Panasonic would be another one. But people still get these. They still buy these. The trick or the problem is that, do they work or not? That's the issue there. So definitely want to be able to buy it for as low as possible if you can, because you never know with electronics if they're going to work, especially these little microset recorders. Even Walkmans, tape players. I tend to have bad luck with tape players. They're not working. So I try to buy them for a few bucks at the most, and pray and hope that they work. I forgot. I think I got this at the flea market, so I wouldn't have paid too much for it. But Sony recorder. This one sold for quite a bit, so definitely look out for it. For this model, the M-100B, $72.24 is what this micro cassette sold for. There was another one that I did sell as well too. It was a tiny little square. I may or may not have made it. It may or may not be in a video, but it was a tiny little square. It didn't even work and still sold for over $100. So keep your eye out for microset recorders. They do incredibly well. The digital recorders, like the just the ones that have their onboard memory, they still do well, but not as good as some of these micro cassette recorders. So keep your eye out for them. They do well. And what's next? Tupperware. Tupperware keychain. We got these really. I think it came out to like 10 cents. These keychains or all that. My wife actually spotted these first. These were from a garage sale, and just take me back to my childhood and Tupperware. We had Tupperware everywhere. I don't know if my mom sold Tupperware or not. I don't think she did, but definitely went to Tupperware parties. I'll tell you that right now. And I do remember Tupperware parties being hosted at our house. But these little keychains, they weigh right around an ounce or so, maybe less than an ounce. Easy to store, easy to ship, easy to picture and everything. So piece of cake if you can get it for the right price, and the right price is less than $1 for these. What did it sell for? $5, and then $5.37 for the shipping is what they paid. When a poly bag with some bubble wrap. But just really, really cool. I mean, if you can get these for 25 cents, 50 cents, less than that if you can, throw them in bundles, icing on the cake, they're just really cool. We got a whole bunch of these too, and they're almost down. I think we're down to maybe 2 or 3 more, not necessarily of this one, but just of these little keychains. I think we're down to about 2 or 3 more. So yeah, get it from. If it was $1, I definitely wouldn't be paying $1 for these. You got to get them for under $1. 50 cents, 25 cents would be 25 cents would be good. Less than that, even better. So really cool items, and they do sell. They still sell. So cool. Vintage Tupperware keychain, red mug, or a pitcher. I thought maybe it was a pitcher, but could be a mug too. It's still sold. So really cool. Cool. What's next? I need to get some water. I'm getting thirsty here. Okay, a salt and pepper shaker. Christmas is coming around the corner. Now, this did not sell for that much at all. I'll tell you right now what it sold for. But it came with the box. Sell-through rate, if you want to know about sell-through rate, incredibly poor. Technically, I should never have picked these items up. But I got them in a bundle. They were, I think they were $1. They sold for $7.67. $6.33 is what they paid in shipping. So, did we hit, an incredible amount of profit? No. From a percentage perspective, yeah, we did pretty damn good. But, we probably tripled 4 times our money. What do we do? Let me see. I'll tell you right now. After fees and shipping label and all that, what's going into the bank is $7. Yeah, we made some money on that shipping for sure. So $7 after fees and everything comes out to $7 is what we made. Is what's going into the bank. Subtract the $1, so $6. So we like 6 times our money on this thing right here. So from a percentage perspective, it was a great deal. But overall, we're not getting rich off selling these, but we did make some money. We got a great sale. These things are small. They went inside a poly bag. They had the original box and everything with the original packaging material. So these were able to go right inside a poly bag, padded poly bag, that is. I did wrap it with some bubble wrap. So there's a little bit of expense, when it comes to the poly bag and the bubble wrap. But that's very, very minimal. We're talking cents here. So maybe take another $1 off that. So we 5 times our money. We 5 times our money on that, on this little item. Yeah, and the sale, but these types of items, they keep the store moving. They keep the store active. That's the name of the game, keeping the store active, trying to make sales. And I definitely do believe that the more sales you make, eBay is going to be like, wow, this person really, really, has items that people want, or he's making deals with people. Let's direct more traffic there. The algorithm will direct more traffic there. I think, that's definitely what I think. You've heard me talk about, I have contacts at eBay and everything. I don't really take advantage of those situations. It's more, they like my feedback, I guess. Like my presence, I guess. I was at an eBay event a few weeks ago. And so that was kind of cool. They had some other, some employees there and other what do you call it? eBay sellers and some buyers, just some people that just buy as well too. So that was pretty cool. I don't know everything about eBay, even though, I have access to eBay, and a little bit more access than most. I don't know any more than a lot of people. Sometimes I gotta reach out. Like I said earlier, I had to reach out to a group I'm a part of, and I had to call eBay through the normal channels, through the normal customer service. You had to go do battle with the little chat bot. I could use my own contacts and reach out, but I don't really encounter issues where I need to do that. I can tell you, I can't even think of a time when I needed to do that. I will go through the normal channels just like everybody else. Obviously, if there was some big, issue, problem that I needed addressing, yes, I may use my contact, take advantage of the situation that I'm in to be able to get that resolved. Fortunately, I don't have, knock on wood, always knock on wood. Fortunately, I don't have to do that. And, I'll just continue doing what I'm doing, humming along here. We're making sales. Things were a little bit slow on Veterans Day, but everything's picked right back up to normal. Veterans Day holiday, to be expected when it comes to some of these holidays. Not every holiday is necessarily, is traditionally where someone go buy. So just have to think about it that way. How many, think about like brick and mortar stores. It's kind of the same principle, even though online stores are easy to access and can be accessed 24/7. You still got to think about, people's habits and, what they do, when they buy, how they buy. So it's all part of the, it's all a big game. Like I say, when I talk about when I'm in the Goodwill and everything, the NPCs, the non-playable characters, what are they doing? They're not playing the game I'm playing. They're in my way, actually. Playing the game. I'm just trying to play the game and get sales, make some money, find some items we can make money on. So I think this video has gone on long enough, but if you stayed this long, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.